Today we'll be talking how to tame a litter of feral kittens. There are 58 million stray cats in the United States alone, and although it's great that a lot of people will feed them and give them outside shelter, this does not help decrease the feral cat population as these cats can still freely reproduce outside. A simple way for you to help do your part will be to tame these cats and find them their forever homes where they're not freely outside to be reproducing and growing this population. In Pueblo alone on our campus, I'm sure we have all seen multiple cats outside, whether you're in a winter jacket or a tank top. And if you're like me, this makes you pretty sad seeing a cat out in the cold or the blazing heat in the summer, and you wonder what you can do about this. When I was 8 years old, me and my family actually took in a feral cat and tamed it, and soon enough it was our loving house cat. And since then, I have successfully tamed several litters of cats in Pueblo with the help of a friend. Today I'll be teaching you the 4 basic steps to taming a litter of kittens, and that will include containment, food, handling, and exposure. So the first step to taming a cat would be containment, and you will want to start off by having a cat carrier or kennel, and you will also want to have a litter box and maybe some bedding if possible, and you will also want to have a small room that does not contain like a couch or a bed for the cats to crawl and get stuck under, because you might not be able to get them out for a little while because they'll be scared. So a great place to put them would be a bathroom, and you would like to keep the kennel open for them to freely roam, but also be able to go back into the kennel in case they do get frightened and need a safe spot to hide. The next step to taming these cats is using food as your mutual friend. So the first way you can use food is to actually capture the cats, and so you want to start off by getting as close to the cats as possible wherever they're at and tossing food or pieces of treats to them. And once they grow interest in the food, you can slowly start tossing the treats closer and closer to you, and eventually they will hopefully be close enough that you can scoop them into the carrier, or you could even put food in the carrier, and it might be as simple as putting the food in the carrier, and they'll be attracted to the carrier and just walk right in, and you can close it in on them. And the next way to use food to tame the cats is once you have gotten them, you can start by tossing them treats or their food, and then start placing the food in front of them, and then eventually, hopefully, they will start eating out of your hand once they're comfortable enough, and that will help the next step, which will be handling. And a great way to transition into handling them is once they're comfortable eating out of your hand, while you're feeding them with your other hand, you can start petting them. And once they're comfortable with that, you can eventually start picking them up for hopefully a few minutes at a time until they're comfortable enough where you can start petting them and picking them up for a majority of the time without them being scared. And then the last step to taming these cats is exposure. So it's great that they're comfortable with you, but eventually they will need to go off to their forever homes, and they will need to see their house guests or even veterinarians, things like that, and they will need to be exposed and tamed to many people. So you want to start off with a friend that's first of all comfortable with cats, because you don't want your friend to be scared, as well as the kittens. And then you may want to start with the first steps all over again. So you want to put the cats back in the kennel, and then have your friend start feeding them by tossing, and then placing in front of the cats, and then feeding them out of your hand. And then your friend can eventually start petting them, picking them up, that all over again. And you want to do this with as many friends as possible, but not all at once. You want to do this with like one individual, get them comfortable with that individual, and then have another friend come, things like that. So now that you know how to tame a cat, let's go over the 4 basic steps that I taught you, which includes properly containing the cat, using food as your mutual friend, properly handling the cat, and then also how to expose the cats to several different people. So many cities have an issue with the stray cat population, and it's great that people will feed them and give them outside shelter, but this does not help decrease the cat population like taming them would. So now that you know how to tame a cat, hopefully next time you see a litter of cats or kittens, you can capture them and use these steps, and also along with that, watch them grow into playful and personable cats that will eventually go to their forever home.